if you stop for a moment and just think of the brilliance of that incredible creature that you have the honor of stepping out into the world with and partnering up to, when you stop and you think about it that way, joyful teamwork becomes a feeling. It becomes something that just takes you over, and that bond and the connection that you can get just from that, I'm telling you, it's magical. Ah, yes, indeed, it is magical. But how do we get there? Today on the podcast, we're talking about the fact that you cannot train calm into a dog that is taking all their cues from a frazzled human. And hey, listen, there is no judgment here from one frazzled human to another. We are talking about why your energy matters more than your words. No matter how many repetitions you put in, no matter how many chicken wieners you cut up, if you are showing up as a hot mess, your dog is going to continue to struggle. So, how do we show up as the calm, grounded leader your dog needs? That's what we're talking about today. Calm isn't a command. Why regulation starts with you. Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. Ever feel like you're walking on eggshells in your own home? Like one moment your dog seems calm and the next, boom, a redirect, a meltdown, or a reaction you did not see coming. I know it's exhausting, frustrating, and can leave you wondering what you're doing wrong. And that is why I created the Fearless Framework online group coaching program. It's a 3-step trust-building system to help your fearful or reactive dog build real, lasting confidence. This isn't about obedience or behavior suppression. It's about understanding your dog's fear, learning how to guide them through it, and becoming the calm, steady presence that they can trust. If you're constantly troubleshooting, second-guessing yourself, or just craving peace in your home again, this is your invitation to do it differently. Head on over to beyondobedience.ca/fearless and join us today inside the Fearless Framework. Let's do this together. I can't wait to start this journey with you. I'll see you there. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It's Tracy from Beyond Obedience. Welcome to the podcast. Super duper hello to anybody who is new. Hey, if you're new, why not do me a favor and just make sure you're in that free Facebook group. Head on over there, say hello, drop a picture of your dog, and let me know what's happening with you. Like, let's connect. Let's connect. Let's share pics of our dogs. Let's do that. Why aren't we already doing that? That's what I want to know. All right. I wanted to talk today about this idea that calm isn't a command. Oh, I have heard it time and time again. And if I'm being 100, I've probably said it myself. And that is, not to quote T Swift, but you need to calm down. You need to calm down. We'll say the words like calm down, like just calm down to the dog, like it's some sort of a command that we've trained, like sit, stay, calm down, like reel that in, calm that down. And it's hard for us to sort of separate things that are trainable versus things that aren't trainable. But I wanted to take a moment to kind of to break this down a little bit, because we can't really cue calm down. It's kind of like asking, when Mark tells me to calm down, like how well does that go over? I mean, men, if there's any men listening, put your hands up if that's ever gone well, if you've told your significant other to just calm down. Not only does it not work, it makes me even more angry. But For dogs, it's just gobbledygook words that they don't understand because you can't really place a cue on it. Now, I'm going to be the first person to say that back in the day when we were really big on teaching place command, and this is no shade on place command is a great command. And we used to like call it calm on command because the idea of it was that the dogs would learn the state of mind that we wanted while on place. But if I'm also being honest, very few people actually did that command or that training to the end result of actually the dog understanding the state of mind. Very few people, at least in my experience. They got what they wanted with that, which was the dog would go over there and stay out of their way for a while, and then they would release them from place. Just be like, that's good. Right? Because honestly, and again, this sounds like I'm throwing shade on commands. I'm not. I'm just a person that wants my dog to exist with me without the sort of boot camp rules. And, I kind of pulled away from that kind of training because at the end of the day, my people that are like me don't want the dog sitting in the corner, forced to stay on a cot. Like they just don't want it. We want the dog near us. We want the dog to be part of our lives. We want the dog. Who's getting who? We want the dog on the couch, right? We want to snuggle with the dogs. That's what we want. So I'm very much a have a cake and eat it too kind of person. And so while I had a little program called Chaos to Calm. And while I have that program, and part of that was teaching place command, and I do think it has its purpose. Don't get me wrong. I do think that you can utilize it in a way. But while I have that, I realized once again that while I'm teaching it, it's not what I do. My dogs don't have place command. They really don't. Because I was kind of like, my dogs kind of understand that calm starts with me. And this is where, some of us might go, oh, no, really? Is it me? Is it me? Yeah, it kind of is. And that's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you can change you. Yes, you can. You're like, I don't think yes, you can. You can. I can help you with that. You can change you. But it's more of the dog sort of following my emotional cues. Now, we know that dogs definitely read energy over words, right? We know that. You can say good dog all you want, but if your jaw is clenched and your shoulders are tight because that dog did not come back when you first called them, or that dog did chase the deer and now they're back, and you're going, boo dog, they know that you don't mean it. They can pick up that. They're reading your presence, not a pep talk. You're not going to fool them. And I was just listening to my friend Nelson, who I got to contact Nelson because he's got to come on the show. I have to introduce you to Nelson. He's going to come on the show. He said he would, so he's going to come on the show. But one of the things that Nelson was just talking about is that your dog isn't reacting to your commands or your cues. They're responding to your internal state of mind, right? And dogs are emotional beings. They 100% are emotional beings, but their emotions are based in survival. And survival depends on reading the room, and you are the room. Let me say that again, because that's Nelsonism, and I think it needs to be said again. Dogs are emotional beings. They're wired for survival. Survival depends on reading the room, and you are the room. It is, in essence, everything that I talk about inside the Fearless framework, this idea that we're not trying to train fear out of the dogs. We're trying to get them to feel safe enough to learn. Dogs can't learn if they don't feel safe, right? And dogs don't feel safe around an emotionally explosive human. They just don't. That's the bottom line. And I know, because I am living in this same world that you are living in, that's hard right now. That is hard right now, to not get caught up in everything. But if you're sitting there in your house, screaming at your dog to calm down, it starts with you, right? It starts with you. And the bottom line is, here's the difference. This is what happens when we're using commands over behavior. You could get a well-trained dog to be compliant to your command, asking them to sit or stay or even be in place command. But if internally they're like freaking out, they're still unsure, they're unconfident, all that stuff, internally they're doing that, then you didn't get a calm dog. You just got a compliant dog. And that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing at all. And that's not what you want, right? You want your dog to be calm. You want your dog to feel safe. You want them to know that you are the calm amongst the storm. That's what we're looking for. So before we interact with our dogs, there's a couple of things I want you to ask yourself. There's a couple of things. The first thing is, how do I want to show up for my dog right now? Or how do I need to show up for my dog right now in this moment? Rather than putting them in a command or telling them to calm down, how do I want to show up? What does that look like for a dog? And then the second question, and this is the hard one, am I able to do it? Am I able to show up for my dog in this moment in the way that they need me to show up to help them through whatever it is going on right now? And if not, if the answer to that is no, what can I do instead? What can I do right now? Where is my emotional meter at? Where is my tolerance level at? How can I show up? And if I can't, be honest with myself and say, what can I do? And maybe that means skipping the walk today. Maybe that's what that means. And that's okay. You can do that. Here's your permission slip. Here's your permission slip. Right? Because one of the other things, because I literally just had a great class with Nelson, but one of the other things that he talked about, which I never really thought about before, is that some dogs start learning to dismiss humans that have emotions that they don't understand. Remember, dogs are emotional beings, but their emotions are tied to survival. It's the emotions they need to survive. They don't have the complexity of emotions that us humans have. And so some dogs will just learn to tune us out and dismiss us altogether if we're being emotional. So if we want to influence our dogs, if we're working with a reactive dog, if we're working with a fearful dog, and we want to be the influence in their life, we have to have a gut check and say, am I able to do it? And if not, what can I do right now? Maybe you have to shift into something that feels better for the both of you, right? So let's talk about like the walk in general, because a lot of, especially if you're dealing with a reactive dog, a lot of that stress and anxiety comes before the walk for both of you. I will tell you right now that a reactive dog that has had a pattern of reacting because of all the ding-dongs in your neighborhood, they are going to have the amp up trigger of reacting long before you even pick up the leash. If you're someone that's patterning and going for a walk at the same time, they'll sense it, right? Just the same as my dogs know when dinner's ready or dinner's about to come. I mean, they know it. So your dog who is practicing reactivity is starting long before you even clip on that leash, long before your dog gets to the door. That's happening. But what's happening with you? We're going to do a gut check there. Are you dreading that walk? Does the word dread come up for you when, like, do you have this sense of, oh gosh, I got to take the dog for a walk, right? Because if you do, your dog already feels that. And in that moment, how do you think you're stepping out of the door? If you've got dread in your heart and you're going, oh, here we go, another walk. I'm going out the door, another walk. How do you think your dog is perceiving that? If you have a very unconfident dog, they're going to be like, she don't got what it takes. Like, she's low. Like, she's feeling low. She doesn't have what it takes. If you've got a confident, reactive dog, they're going to be like, well, I guess it's up to me to take care of all the ding dongs, all of the ding dongs in the neighborhood today, and I'm just gonna drag this person along behind me, right? That feeling of dread is gonna travel right down that leash. So what's another option? What's another option for you? How can we start to change that for you? Because again, it's got to start with you. It's got to start with you. You have to have some sort of confidence. And maybe that does mean that, you have to, maybe you can book a confidence coaching call with me. Maybe you need something more. Maybe you need somebody that can come to your house to help you, a dog trainer that can predictable dogs that you know that your dog can be fine with. Maybe that means muzzle conditioning and using tools that you need. Maybe it's muzzle conditioning and using tools that you need. Maybe, but also maybe it means that we don't go for that walk. And instead we do some backyard leash time and a fun session. And I don't want to call it even a training session. I call it a fun session. Like, what if we were to set up a really fun agility thing? What if we were to set up a scent trail? What if we were to just start to build a more positive association with that leash? And this idea of joyful teamwork. What does joyful teamwork look like to you? What does joyful teamwork feel like to you? What does that feel like? Feel it in your heart. How joyful it would be to, like, watch your dog do some stuff. One of the things for people that are struggling with their dogs and really getting frustrated, especially if it's a purebred dog that is a working breed, I'm always the first person to say, listen, you need to take that dog out and let it do what it was born and bred to do, and sit back and watch with awe, right? Just watch them with the absolute awe of the brilliance of the dog, because there are some brilliant dogs, some brilliant breeds. I love watching the videos of the working dogs. Have you seen the videos of the working border collies that can, like, herd the sheep, and like the Jack Russell Terriers that are out there just ratting like hundreds of rats an hour? Like, the scent hounds and the work that they do, finding people, and the emergency dogs that, like, find people underneath rubble. Like, if you stop for a moment and just think of the brilliance of that incredible creature that you have the honor of stepping out into the world with and partnering up to, when you stop and you think about it that way, joyful teamwork becomes a feeling. It becomes something that just takes you over, and that bond and the connection that you can get just from that, I'm telling you, it's magical. It's magical. But we gotta find a way to get you there. And maybe that means we have to get in the car and we have to drive. Maybe that means we take our herding dog and we find a herding class that's an hour and a half away, and we make a day of it, and we go and we see your dog in its absolute brilliance, doing the things that they were just born and bred to do. Just try it. and see it and then try to recreate it. Joyful teamwork. Just anyway, I just thinking about it just makes me smile so big. All right. So we want to practice those kind of things. We want to look at, how can we change our frame of mind? Because we don't want to micromanage the dog. You're not there to micromanage them. You're here to guide them through their feelings and take some emotional clarity. Just, always remembering that your dog is asking questions like, can I trust you when things get hard? Can I trust you in this situation? Be the trustworthy, emotionally balanced person in the room. And here's another quick tip. You want to practice this co-regulation of your own nervous system every day. Not just in a crisis, not just in the moments when you're like, okay, I got to prepare for a walk. So I'm going to do some deep breathing exercises and I'm going to center myself and find my zen and do all that stuff because I'm going to go for a walk. Do it daily. Practice it daily. Like this kind of a thing is a muscle. And I will tell you right now, we could use it. Again, the world is crazy. So let's take a moment. If you haven't already tried the Be With session, try the Be With session. Just stop and be quiet and be with your dog and take some deep breaths and see what happens. See how, play around with it. We talk about this all the time inside the student community about Be With. Be With's one of my favorite things to do, but you can play around with it. Play around with your breathing. Play around with, like if I have a dog that settles beside me, I'll like put my hand gently on their ribs and I'll put my hand gently on my heart. And I'll just sort of breathe in and breathe out and then try to like regulate like the two of us together, like to kind of sync it up. Sounds weird, but also super, super cool. Super, super cool. You can actually, because dogs mirror so much of us, you can actually get a dog to mirror calm back to you. It's so cool. Just sit, breathe, don't talk. Just be with your dog. Think about the wonders of your dog. Think about the wonders of your dog. Like we can't even possibly conceive how brilliant their nose is. What they can smell cancer. Like what? I mean, they're just magnificent. They're just magnificent. But doing the Be With exercise and the breathing exercise, letting their body settle with yours, no agenda, no commands, just calm and peace. This builds like a nervous system fluency between you and your dog, right? They learn when you're calm, they can be calm. When you're calm, they can be calm. I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that I don't teach my dogs place command. But they know that when I'm calm, they're calm. When I come in and sit down, they come and sit down. When I get playful, they get playful. They tune in to the environment inside the house. So if you have a chaotic, crazy house or you're raging about your work day or whatnot, it's going to be really hard to instill calmness in a dog that is living and sharing that space with you, especially because these guys are living in survival, right? They're living in survival. So you have to take that moment to calm yourself. All right. And again, I just want to throw this out there. If this episode feels like a missing piece for you, this is your sign. It probably is. Right. And most dog training courses skip this. They skip the human side of the leash. They focus more on fixing the dog and training the dog. But I want to let you know that inside the Fearless Framework, which is my online coaching program and community, we work with that. I can help you learn how to lead from calm and not necessarily commands. And I can help you guide your dog out of fear with trust and not tension. So if you're ready for that in your life, I highly encourage you to join me over at beyondobedience.ca/fearless. Get more information there about the full program. You get the online program, you get the monthly coaching calls with me, you get an incredibly supportive, amazing community to help you along the way. Plus, this program is getting bigger. We're expanding it with even more fun stuff that is going to be going on. I can't get into all the details right now, but you don't want to miss it. Jump in beyondobedience.ca/fearless if you want to be a part of that incredible community. If that's something that you're like, you know what, that's what I want in my life, then come join us. Come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. All right, friends, I think that's it for today. If you liked this episode, can you do me a favor and rate it on Apple? If you're listening on Apple, give it a 5-star written review. Really appreciate that. Helps push the podcast out to more and more people and dog lovers like you and I. Also, if you're on Spotify, you can rate it there as well as leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode. If you have another dog friend that you would like to hang out with us here on the podcast, let me know that, let them know, and share this on your socials. Anything that you can do to help push this podcast out, I would really, truly appreciate. We want to reach more and more dog lovers like you and I, dog lovers that are interested in, changing the world for dogs. That's what we're doing. This isn't just an online program or presence. This is a mission. And we're really excited about it. So I'm happy that you are here. Love you lots. As always, get out there today, my friend, and be the person that your dog thinks you are, because your dog thinks that you're amazing. And so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only, and it's not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.